and to execute memorandum of agreement and all necessary documents to administer the requirements of which will set forth policy, guidelines, and regulatory restrictions that will direct the effective and efficient administration of transportation alternative funds. Number 6, upon the receipt of all necessary documentation from the local public agency, request concurrence with the listed LPA recommendation to award the construction bid on the following project. Number 7, authorize the executive director to execute a memorandum of agreement between the commission and the listed local public agency in order to establish the responsibilities for the development of the following project.
One question.
Okay, question,
Um,
comment?
I've asked this question probably more than once, and I keep forgetting the answer, but when we sell a piece of property like that, an economic remnant, where does that money go?
That original project that we acquired the property under, if that's still open, it's credited back to that project. And then if not, we try to find a similar project geographical area or location to credit it back to. We work with Financial Management and Program Division.
Okay. But you have discretion on that. You can make that, you basically find a way to make that work. You don't,
Oh,
you're not,
yes,
you're
sir.
not governed by somebody else that's pulling it
Sure.
from us. Okay,
That's right.
thank you.
Now the question about the comment, item number 5, those projects, TA project. Let me again thank you and the entire LPA staff, Mitch and all of them, for the work you do in working with our local communities and helping to put these kind of projects together. They mean a lot to the local communities, and I just want to commend you all for the kind of work and due diligence you put into those projects. And that's all of the projects all over the state in item number 5. So thank you. Field operation, Janie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item number 8, authorize the executive director to execute supplemental agreement number 1, effective December 8, 2025, to work assignment number 4 under the CE&I master contract with Michael Baker Incorporated to provide additional owner advisor services for the MDOT construction manager general contractor project known as the I-20 I-55 freight corridor improvements on the listed projects in Hinds and Rankin counties. The amount of the supplemental agreement will not exceed $566,583.05 for a revised total contract amount of $666,092.70. Item number 9, authorize the acceptance of $604.25 from Automobile Club Insurance Exchange on behalf of Michael Johnson as full settlement of damage to the median cable barrier on I-55 southbound at mile marker 93 in Hinds County. And authorize the executive director to execute the necessary release or other appropriate settlement documents. And item number 10, award the construction bid per staff recommendations from the February 3rd, 2026 letting. And if it pleases the commission, I would like to read items that were added by addendum.
Any opposition? Go vote.
From the addendum, item number 1, authorize the executive director to execute a small purchase contract effective February 4th, 2026 for Thompson Consulting LLC to provide initial debris assessment services for MDOT District 1 due to Winter Storm Fern on the listed project. The amount of the contract will not exceed $70,916.60. Item number 2, authorize executive director to execute a small purchase contract effective February 4th, 2026 with True North Emergency Management to provide initial debris damage assessment services for MDOT District 2 due to Winter Storm Fern on the listed project. The amount of the contract will not exceed $146,580. Item number 3, authorize the executive director to execute a small purchase contract effective February 4th, 2026 with Debris Tech LLC to provide initial debris damage assessment services for MDOT District 3 due to Winter Storm Fern on the listed project. The amount of the contract will not exceed $109,800. And item number 4, Authorize the executive director to advertise for indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, and master contracts for debris monitoring services statewide.
So those item 1, 2, and 3 under the addendum, those are for assessments in each of the districts that was damaged, the 30,000 miles or so that we've been looking at.
Yes, sir. They will go and quantify and document all the debris, the trees that are down due to the storm, due to the ice storm.
Okay,
You have,
question?
you have a timeline for when we go through all this, and just, that's the big question we keep getting is, when's it gonna come up from the right of way?
I don't have a timeline for that. We do have, our initial assessment should be submitted next week. I think they're due next week on these initial contracts here. And we'll quantify that, and we'll have to get FEMA numbers for that as well, and the funding for it.
A generic question, you may not know the answer to this one yet, but with the storm being as it was, with the amount of ice on the highway, are we seeing any unusual damages to our highways?
I haven't had that discussion with the district engineers or seen it since then, so you would have to ask them that
Okay.
question.
Commissioner, I would say that we are assessing, we have seen some potholes that have developed in some areas. I guess with the freeze thaw with the ice, and we are kind of developing, some assessments on that to kind of see if there's any remedial work that would need to be done on that.
Okay.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Janie, will we need to complete items 1, 2, and 3 before we advertise for debris removal?
Yes, sir, we have to complete this first.
No other questions, comments? Thank you, Jenny. Intermodal planning, Jim.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Morning.
Number 11, authorize the executive director to execute the necessary release of lien or other appropriate documents to dispose of the following vehicles. These vehicles were operated by a Section 5310, 5311 program subrecipient and have been disposed of in accordance with the Federal Transit Administration's property management procedures. Number 12, award the Strategic Multimodal Investments Funds projects and authorize the executive director to execute all necessary documents to administer the projects listed on Attachment B. Number 13, authorize the executive director to adopt amendments to the 2025 through 2028 statewide transportation improvement program.
Not a question, but a comment. On item number 12, again, thank you and the staff for those projects going all over our state and into our district. Those multimedia programs and these programs, these funds are very helpful. Where does the funds come from?
So these funds come from different sources. Mostly, these particular come directly from the legislature. This was a one-time award last year for $18 million. There was a little bit of interest that was added to that. Also, some funds that were released from previously awarded projects that have been completed and were actually under budget.
Okay. And there again, it goes thanks to the legislature for being wise enough to give us the money and you take it and put it where it needs to be. So, thank you, man. Okay. Information, Ben.
Morning.
Good morning.
Number 14, authorize the executive director to expend funds to Hubert Crook Computer Consultants for computer systems engineer, systems architect consulting services for a 3-year term ending February 21st, 2029 at a total amount not to exceed $588,000 for information systems division. Authorization for work performed pursuant to this statement of work is granted under the terms of the Master Consulting Services Agreement between GuideSoft, doing business as Knowledge Services, and the Mississippi Department of Information Technology Services. Number 15, authorize the executive director to expend funds to Dell Tech Inc. for Master Spec Architecture Professional Subscription for a 1-year term ending January 26, 2027 at a total amount not to exceed $1,150 for Architectural Services Division. 16, recommend concurrence with the Department of Information Technology Services to award the following HB Software Solutions for software hosting and maintenance for MDOT statewide public transit call center solution to provide coordinated transportation services for a 3-year term ending February 14th, 2029 at a total amount not to exceed $764,010.55 for Public Transit Division. This procurement was competitively bid by ITS's contracting agent. And item B is Intelligent Transportation Services for the purchase of traffic cameras and accessories for MDOT Traffic Network at a total amount not to exceed $58,720 for Information Systems Division. This procurement was competitively bid by ITS's contracting agent for MDOT.
Questions, comments? Yes, sir. Commissioner Garwood.
I would just say, I'm gonna call Tom King and let him know that we have Florence, Mississippi on number 14. That is not out of state.
Yeah.
And so,
And I debated whether to put that first or last.
thank you, Ben.
Thanks a lot. Administrative Services, Alex.
Morning.
Morning.
Number 17, ratify and approve payment of accounts payable in the amount of $13,966,166.72 for the periods of February 4th and February 11th, 2026. Number 18, approve the payroll docket for the period of February 1st through February 15th, 2026, not to exceed the sum of $5 million plus statutory withholding, state match, fringe, and employee authorized deductions. Number 19, ratify and approve the commissioners and executive director salaries and expenses for an aggregate amount of $17,692.30 plus statutory withholding, state match, fringe, and employee authorized deductions for the periods of February 4th and February 11th, 2026. Number 20, in accordance with Alice G. Clark, Mississippi Lottery Law, authorize executive director to issue a requisition for funds from the Lottery Proceeds Fund administered by the Department of Finance and Administration that are necessary for expenditures on lottery projects for the period of February 1st through February 28, 2026. Number 21, authorize executive director to approve the following retired standard operating procedures. Number 22, authorize executive director to approve the following new standard operating procedures. Number 23, if it pleases the commission, I would like to pull 23B.
23B,
Yes, 23B.
any opposition? Nope. There been none, proceed.
Read for 23A. Authorize executive director to execute the following copier rental service agreement with Canon USA through distributor R.J. Young, Ridgeland, Mississippi, for the location below. Number 24, request authority to purchase from the following agency and state contracts. Number 25, request authority to extend the following agency contracts for the period of March 1st through August 31st, 2026, pending DFA approval. And number 26, request authority to extend the following agency contracts for the period of April 1st through September 30, 2026, pending DFA approval.
Question, not a question, but a comment, and I guess it goes to Brad. I believe, Brad, on item number 21, the legislature, both the House and the Senate, have passed the bill this year to send it to the governor to remove the repeal on the lottery. Okay. That's good news for us because the sunset in that bill that Busby and I supported when we were in the Senate had a repeal on it, a sunset for the 2028. And now that means that when the governor signs that, that repeal or that sunset will no longer exist. So thank you all for what you're doing with the money. Legal, Judy.
Good morning.
Chairman, if it please the commission, I'd like to take a brief moment to make an introduction.
Depends on who you're introducing.
It's a new attorney in legal division.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm very pleased to say that we have Mr. John Scarborough joining legal division. John's a graduate of Ole Miss undergrad and MC School of Law. And he comes to us with several years in private practice where he handled criminal and civil litigation. He also has experience as a prosecutor for the city of New Hebron. John lives in Brandon, and he serves the Monterey community as a member of the Volunteer Fire and Rescue, and we're just very excited to have him. And I just wanted you to know, if someone named John Scarborough calls or emails you and asks you legal questions, that they're there with us.
Mr. Scarborough, welcome aboard and glad to have you.
Welcome, John.
Welcome.
Thank you. Number 27, enter into an agreement with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks to establish the respective rights and obligations for construction and maintenance of a boat landing area on the Commission's right-of-way near Bridge Number 46.2 on Highway 32 in Tallahatchie County. This is necessitated as a remedial measure to replace the existing boat landing, which will be destroyed while carrying out the listed project, and authorize the executive director to execute a memorandum of agreement or other appropriate document. Number 28, authorize the Office of the Attorney General to execute the following work assignment under the Title Services Master Contract with the attorney law firm listed to perform title services on the listed project in Winston County. Number 29, authorize the executive director to execute a master agreement for legal services between the Mississippi Transportation Commission and J. Wesley Highsall of Stroud, Fletcher, and Dalton upon request to represent the commission with respect to eminent domain matters. For work assignments issued under this master agreement, attorney services will be paid at the rate of $170 per hour. Paralegal services will be paid at the rate of $65 an hour. This contract shall be effective January 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2029, and the maximum contract amount shall not exceed $75,000. Number 30, authorize and request the Office of the Attorney General to file suit and hire any expert witnesses deemed necessary to pursue a claim against Logistics Experts LLC, Elmhurst, Illinois, and any other responsible parties for damage to guardrail on I-55 at Bridge 35.8 underpass in Lincoln County. The amount of the claim is $11,407.05. Number 31, authorize the acceptance of $25,000, the policy limit, from Farm Bureau Insurance Company on behalf of its insured, Melanie Ann Jacob, for settlement as the policy limit for the property damage to the listed vehicle equipment, and authorize the executive director to execute the necessary release or other appropriate settlement documents. Number 32, authorize the executive director to terminate, effective February 10th, 2026, the rental agreement under the listed state contract entered on February 1st, 2024 with Xerox Corporation to provide an EFI printer server NX1, including the listed one-station option for the use of the MDOT Information Systems Division. This agreement with Xerox Corporation began February 1st, 2024 through January 31st, 2029, and was approved on January 8th, 2024, and can be found at the listed booking page. Number 33, request an executive session to discuss the settlement of a workers' compensation matter and to discuss a recommendation in a litigation matter as permitted by Mississippi Code Section 2541(7).
Okay, before we move any further on the agenda, I'd like to hear from Linda. Does she have anything to add?
No, sir.
Earl,
No, sir.
Brett, commissioners?
Got one question. She's prompted on that comment about the payment on the guardrail. I guess we're just to not make an assumption. I guess we're tracking how many miles of cable barriers that were taken down in the storm, because a lot of those wrecks they didn't call, so we probably won't get insurance claims on them because we don't know who hit them. But that's part of our claim on the FEMA claim, is it not?
I do know we're going to track and assess that damage. Not sure how to relate back to FEMA, but I know we do track that and we'll get it repaired. And if there are any accident reports that we are aware of, we're going to seek that damage back through the insurance carrier that motor vehicle.
Okay. But if you would, let me know if that qualifies or doesn't qualify with our claims with FEMA.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's all I had, sir.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Okay. Been moved and seconded that we approve the amended approve the agenda as a minute. All in favor, let it be known by use sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Why do we need to go into executive session?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, we have a workers' comp matter and another litigation matter to be discussed.
Motion to go in for those two items.
Moving second that we do declare executive session to take up the items as indicated by the attorney. We'll take a 5-minute break. Say hello to your friends and loved ones.